Okay, let's see what I missed this year. Remake, another remake, unplayable PC port, unplayable PC port, ooh, another unplayable PC port, which also has DRM issues, and you get to be with Star Wars fans. Wow, that is so cool. Wonder what genius made it. Oh, that's right, EA made it. That explains everything. Listen, things haven't been going yee-haw for the gaming industry for the past few years, right? A lot of broken games got shamelessly published and creativity got limited to indie games. I know, things are pretty bad. It's way worse than this, right? I mean, Nintendo the other day basically sued a man into a life sentence. Yes, a gaming company just did that. First of all, I didn't know you could do that, and second of all, I'm still traumatized by that. But I am here to tell you that it'll get way worse. See, the trendy new thing with game developers is releasing a broken game and patching it up later on. Basically, they need the money up front and they'll give you 75% of the promised game a few years later. If it so pleases them, that is. Which is a weirdly messed up business model in the first place, but that is not the worst part. These days, people don't like it when you criticize a broken game. Wait for the patch, bruh. And then when the developers somehow patch it up years later, they start giving them awards. That's a real thing that Cyberpunk 2077 won. We live in a society, folks. At this point, all of you probably know how much work is needed to build a AAA game, right? There has to be motion capturing, performance capturing, models, props, maps, actors, musicians, magicians, artists, and hell, there's specifically a guy who does hair animations. That is way too complicated than we think. And the truth of the matter is, it really isn't worth it at all. All that crisp and crunch doesn't even get appreciated that much. I mean, these guys do as much as work as Hollywood, but they don't get popularity or credit as much. And yeah, and it just makes you think. Wait a minute. A movie is like 2 hours long and it's like $20, right? And a AAA game is like 20 hours long, some even go for as long as hundreds of hours. I myself have played Minecraft for more than 10,000 hours, but I don't have an addiction and we don't have to talk about it because I can stop whenever I want to. Anyways, all of these hours and hours of gameplay cost like 60 or 70 buckaroonies, and that price tag has barely changed because games that looked like this in the 90s cost like $50. I'm gonna be really honest with you 90s kids, you guys got the short end of the stick. I mean, you guys were playing whatever this is and we were playing Vice City, so you know. Anyways, to be really honest with you, game prices are the only thing that should be increasing in this whole industry. Nvidia's marketing team has been apparently running a circus for the last few years, and yeah, the rest of that industry isn't any different either. It's quite embarrassing honestly, but it's another whole can of earthworm gyms that I don't want to open. Not right now. And as the demand for graphics and performance get higher and higher, game production costs more and more, leading to the problem we have today. Broken games being shamelessly published. Nah, hold on a minute. Does that mean developers aren't guilty at all? The same developers that plan, code, and produce this broken junk? No. They don't get to slide off that easily. After all, they are not politicians, but what I told you before was genuine problems that still happen in the industry. Despite being brought to light, these things still happen, and I think they should be addressed more because it affects a lot to the industry. overwork, underpay, underappreciation. In the eyes of a singular developer, these are bad. But in the eyes of a whole bajillion-dollar industry, this is not looking good. I know that a lot of people talk about a coming recession, specifically the great armchair economists of Reddit, but I think these guys may have a point. In times of crisis, this is one of the main industries to get bettered. And yep, that looks like getting better to me. But here's the thing. I need you to understand that this broken game fiasco isn't totally the game developer's fault. There's also something called corporate greed, and that's a huge problem affecting every industry ever. And that problem doesn't seem to end anywhere. They want money before a certain date and they want a lot of it. That's how the world works, unfortunately. Now here's the next thing. Huge gaming corporations like Sony, Microsoft, the big fish in the tank, they always have a lot of money because the gaming industry is not their only investment. But the reality is, even the most popular games that made shockwaves in the system, shockwaves like Elden Ring, didn't really make that much money. I mean, it's still in the millions, not in the billions, which is really bad because growth won't happen at a considerable rate if this keeps up. Investors someday are going to realize that this is not a very good market. Now, hold on a minute. So, a gamer has to pay at least $1,000 to buy a console or a PC, and that same gamer has to maintain it with their own money. And the same gamer has to pay for the ever so increasing energy bills, and the same gamer has to buy a digital untangible copy for $60 or $70, and somehow the industry doesn't make enough money. Yeah, the short answer is yes. The long answer is yes. The devil is in the details, as you can see. And unfortunately, I think a lot of hobbies these days are trash cans for cash. It's at the point where you have to lie to your wifey about the new government tax called RTX 4070, that's $600. However, the best way to understand the massive problem in this industry is to look over the fence of pride at the indie games, which is like a utopia for gamers these days. They have good money, they have good games, the games are as expensive as a bunch of bananas, and their highest demands are ThinkPads made in the 90s. They have absolutely everything. Plus you get to support small-scale family businesses, if there are any. You want to play a Souls game that will get you on your knees but don't have a machine stolen from NASA? Play Hollow Knight on your work laptop. You want to get your butt kicked into oblivion by a real survivor game? Play Rain World on your granny's pacemaker. You want to take your mind off of your brain-draining, body-burning, health-shrinking job? Play Outer Wilds on your ECG machine. It won't make the annoying beeps anymore and your life would be a whole lot of fun. If it keeps getting darker, make sure to turn the brightness up. The point is, if you're still looking for real gaming in AAA games, you're looking in the wrong place, buddy. Indie gaming has everything better than AAA gaming. But that's not the best part about all of this. Indie is the place where creativity and freedom for creativity really thrives. They don't have shareholders on their shoulders throwing boulders at them when they mess up. That means they have Kickstarters. They don't have thousands of toxic fans writing death threats disguised as love letters. This is not only a utopia for gamers. This is a utopia for the whole industry. And I think I just proved my point. There are way better games that demand way less resources, and I think you should try indie games because they are really, really good. So yeah, I'll be going back to playing Minecraft, and you guys can recommend some indie games down in the comments, and yeah, I'll also give you some excellent S-class recommendations like this, and this. And also, I have a $1 Patreon. You guys can donate there if you can. Yeah, that's about it. Bingus McJingus out.